Creepy, yeah. True home alone story, New York nightmare. My name is Michael Carter, and I swear to God, every word of this is true. It started on a random Friday night. I had the apartment to myself. My roommate, Jake, had left for the weekend, leaving me in our small Brooklyn unit. At first, I was looking forward to it. A quiet night, some movies, maybe a beer or two. By midnight, that excitement was gone. I was in bed, my laptop on my chest, scrolling through random horror stories online. The only sound was the faint hum of the fridge and the occasional creak of the old wooden floors. Then from outside my apartment door, a knock. I froze. It wasn't loud, just a soft, deliberate tap. I checked the time. 12:14 a.m. Who the hell would be at my door at this hour? I got up, heart pounding, and crept toward the peephole. The hallway light flickered, casting weird shadows, but no one was there. I waited, breath caught in my throat. Maybe I imagined it. I started to step back. Knock? Knock? My blood ran cold. I yanked open the door. Nothing. The hallway was empty. No footsteps, no sounds. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. I wasn't the type to get paranoid, but something about this felt wrong. I locked the door, double-checking it, and went back to bed. I told myself it was just some drunk neighbor messing around. I should have left. The shadow at my door. Around 3 a.m., I woke up again. Something felt off. My room was pitch black, but I swore I heard something, like fabric shifting, like someone moving inside the apartment. My heart pounded as I reached for my phone. I turned on the flashlight, sweeping it across the room. Nothing. But when I aimed it at my door, I saw it. A shadow. Not in my room, but outside my bedroom door, faintly visible beneath the crack. A pair of feet just standing there. I nearly screamed. I grabbed the knife from my bedside drawer, holding my breath as my pulse thundered in my ears. I texted Jake. Me. Bro, did you come back? Someone's outside my room. Jake. UTF? No, I'm still upstate. Call the cops. I didn't move. I just kept watching. The shadow didn't move either. For a full minute, I stayed frozen, barely breathing. Then, just as I was about to call 911, the shadow stepped away. Slowly. Deliberately. I didn't hear the front door open. No footsteps down the hall. Whoever it was still inside. The messages. I didn't sleep after that. I kept the knife in one hand, my phone in the other. By 3:30 a.m., I started to think maybe, just maybe, I imagined it. That was until my phone buzzed. Unknown number. You looked scared last night. My stomach dropped. Another buzz. Unknown number. I liked your shirt. The blue one. It suits you. I was wearing that shirt. My throat tightened. My apartment was empty. I checked everywhere. Whoever this was, they saw me. I bolted to the window, barely pulling the curtain back. And under the flickering street lamp, there he was. Tall, thin. Just standing there, staring up at me. My hands shook as I dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? I swallowed hard. Someone's been stalking me. They were outside my apartment last night, and now they're texting me. They know what I'm wearing. They're outside my building right now. The dispatcher's voice was calm, too calm. Do you have any proof they're threatening you? I blinked. They're texting me. My phone buzzed again. I looked down. Unknown number. Calling the cops? That's rude, Michael. I dropped the phone. They knew. They were listening. I whispered into the receiver. Send someone. Now. Then I grabbed my keys and bolted. The apartment manager. The cops took over 20 minutes to arrive. By then, the figure outside my window was gone. They took my statement, nodding like they'd heard it all before. I didn't feel safe. By morning, I was in the leasing office, demanding to see the building's security footage. The manager, Henry, hesitated, but eventually agreed. We pulled up the footage from last night. 1:47 a.m., same masked figure standing at my door. But then the footage glitched. For nearly 2 minutes, the screen froze. Then he was gone. I clenched my fist. That's impossible. Henry rewound the tape. Same thing. The figure appears. The footage freezes. The figure disappears. Henry frowned. Wait, look at this. He switched cameras this time, the hallway feed from the floor above mine. 1:49 a.m., the masked figure was there. Walking into apartment 7C. Henry paled. That unit's supposed to be vacant. My stomach knotted. Then who the hell just walked in? Apartment 7C. We didn't wait for the cops. Henry grabbed his keys, his hands shaking as he unlocked 7C. The door creaked open, revealing a dark, empty room. No furniture, no signs of life. But the air was thick, stale, like someone had been there moments ago. Then I saw it. A single Polaroid taped to the wall of my apartment door, and beneath it in red ink, "See you soon, Michael." My vision blurred. My stomach dropped. I turned to Henry, my voice barely a whisper. I'm not staying here another night. The escape. That night I packed whatever I could carry and checked into a hotel. The text stopped. The masked figure never appeared again. But even now, in a different apartment, in a different neighborhood, I still check my peephole every night. Because somewhere out there, he's watching. And one day, I know, he'll be back. Want more terrifying stories? Subscribe to my YouTube channel for spine-chilling horror. Mr. Horror TV. Join our Telegram community for exclusive horror content. Mr. Horror Stories Telegram. Are you brave enough to hear the next story? The Vanishing Shadows of New York. Hey, my name's Jake Thompson. I grew up in New York, and if there's one thing I learned living in this city, it's that you should never ignore your instincts. This happened when I was 22, living alone in a small apartment in Brooklyn. It's a story I've never told anyone in full, but after what I went through, I think people should know. It was a Friday night, and I had just finished a long shift at the restaurant where I worked. The city was alive as usual, sirens wailing, people shouting, and the occasional honk of a taxi. I grabbed some takeout and headed home, ready to relax and binge-watch a new series. As I turned the key in my apartment door, I had this weird feeling, like someone was watching me. I shrugged it off, locked the door behind me, and tossed my keys onto the counter. The place was quiet, just the way I liked it. I settled in on my couch with my food and scrolled through my phone. That's when I noticed something strange. My bathroom light was on. I was sure I had turned it off before leaving. I got up, walked toward the bathroom, and felt my chest tighten. The door was slightly open. Taking a deep breath, I pushed it open fully. Nothing. Just an empty bathroom. Maybe I'd left it on by mistake. I turned it off, but the uneasy feeling didn't go away. I tried to shake it off, and I went back to my couch. Halfway through my meal, I heard it. A soft creaking sound like footsteps on wood. My apartment had carpeted floors. I froze. The sound had come from my bedroom. Heart pounding, I slowly stood up. I grabbed a kitchen knife, just in case, and made my way toward my bedroom door. It was slightly ajar, just like the bathroom had been. With a deep breath, I pushed it open. Nothing, just my neatly made bed, my closet door shut, and my window locked from the inside. I checked every inch of the room, even under the bed. No one was there. I let out a nervous laugh. "You're losing it, Jake," I muttered to myself. I went back to the couch, but I couldn't relax. Something felt wrong. I kept glancing at my bedroom door, expecting it to move. Then out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. My closet door, previously closed, was now slightly open. I didn't move. My hands were ice cold, my breath shallow. Someone was in my apartment. I gripped the knife tighter and stepped toward the closet. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. With one swift motion, I yanked the door open. Empty. I exhaled sharply, shaking my head. "Okay. I need sleep," I whispered, closing the closet again. But just as I turned around, I heard it creak open behind me. I spun around so fast, I nearly tripped over myself. The closet door was wide open. And then I saw it. A shadow, tall, thin, standing just inside the darkness of the closet. I bolted. I didn't look twice. I grabbed my phone and ran to the door and flung it open, sprinting down the hallway of my apartment building. I only stopped when I reached the lobby, gasping for breath. The night security guard looked at me like I was crazy. "There's someone in my apartment," I panted. He called the cops. When they arrived and searched my place, they found nothing. No signs of forced entry, nothing missing. My closet door was shut tight. They probably thought I was crazy, but I know what I saw. That night, I packed a bag and stayed at a friend's place. I never slept in that apartment again. To this day, I don't know what I encountered in that apartment. A person? Something else? All I know is that sometimes when I'm alone at night, I still feel that same eerie sensation, that feeling of being watched. And every now and then, I swear I hear a closet door creak open. The Man in the Peephole. My name is Daniel Carter, and I live in New York City. I've always loved the city, the energy, the lights, the fact that no matter what time it is, you're never really alone. But sometimes being alone is safer. I learned that the hard way. The new apartment. I had just moved into a small studio apartment in Queens. It wasn't anything fancy, but it was cheap and close to work. The building was old, creaky floors, flickering hallway lights, and neighbors who kept to themselves. The first thing I noticed when I moved in was the peephole on my front door. It was oddly large, bigger than normal, like someone had replaced it. I didn't think much of it, at least not at first. My first night in the apartment was uneventful. I ordered takeout, watched a movie, and fell asleep. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a sound, soft, rhythmic tapping. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from my front door. I sat up in bed, my heart pounding. I wasn't expecting anyone. I slowly got out of bed and tiptoed to the door. The tapping continued. Tap, tap, tap. I hesitated for a moment before looking through the peephole. Nothing. The hallway was empty. I stepped back, my skin crawling. Maybe I imagined it. But as I turned to go back to bed, tap, tap, tap. I spun around, my stomach twisting. The sound was still there. I checked the peephole again. Still nothing. I didn't sleep that night. Over the next few nights, the tapping continued. Sometimes at midnight, sometimes at 3 a.m. Always the same pattern. Tap, tap, tap. I started keeping a knife by my bed. One night, I decided to catch whoever was messing with me. I stayed up, sitting on the floor with my back against the door, waiting. At exactly 2:58 a.m., the tapping began. Tap, tap, tap. I didn't move. I just watched the peephole, waiting to see a shadow or movement. Nothing. I slowly reached for my phone and turned on the flashlight. Then I took a deep breath and held the light up to the peephole. That's when I saw it. An eye. Someone was on the other side, watching me. I stumbled backward, nearly dropping my phone. My heart was hammering against my ribs. I grabbed the knife from my nightstand and rushed to the door. "Who's there?" I yelled, my voice shaking. Silence. I threw the door open, ready to confront whoever was outside. The hallway was empty. I ran down to the lobby, breathing heavily. The security guard looked up, surprised. "Did you see anyone come in?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. He frowned. "No one's come in or out for hours." I stood there, gripping the knife, my mind racing. Someone had been watching me. I wanted to leave, move out, but I didn't have the money, so I stayed. The next night, I pushed a chair against the door and stayed awake, watching. At exactly 3 a.m., the tapping started again. Tap, tap, tap. I gripped the knife and forced myself to look through the peephole. The eye was back. But this time, it blinked. And then, very slowly, a mouth appeared. Lips stretching into a grin, teeth yellow and jagged. I couldn't breathe. Then the whisper came. "I see you." I stumbled backward, knocking over a lamp. The tapping turned into banging. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. When the cops arrived, they found no one. But they did find something. The peephole wasn't just a peephole. It was a drilled-out hole, big enough for someone to see through from the other side. And the worst part? There were greasy fingerprints around it. Someone had been watching me, every night. I moved out the next day. I don't know who or what was watching me. I don't know how long they had been there. But sometimes, late at night, when I pass a door with a peephole, I feel the urge to cover it. Because I know someone might be watching.